In this session, we are working out a question, and the question goes like this. Mr. Ashok purchased a machine on hire purchase from Bharat Motors on 1st Jan 2016. The cash price of the machine was 74,000. The payment was made as follows. 20,000 was paid on signing the agreement. The balance is payable on three parts of 20,000 annually. Interest is charged at 5%. Depreciation is calculated at 10% according to straight line method. Prepare the journal entries for the transaction. So we see here that Mr. Ashok is the purchaser and Bharat Motors is the vendor. And they're buying a machine. Cash price of the machine is 74,000. 20,000 was paid at the time of signing the agreement. So this 20,000 that you're paying at the time of signing the agreement, this corresponds to the down payment. The balance is payable in three parts of 20,000. So the balance amount that is due to the vendor, you will be paying in three parts, and the amount that you'll be paying per year is 20,000. Interest that is computed by the vendor is at 5%. Now, on top of this, 10% has to be charged by the purchaser as depreciation, and the methodology that we are following for computation of depreciation is a straight line method. So there are different techniques that are available for calculating depreciation, and the methodology that we are following over here is straight line method. Prepare the journal entries for the transaction. So with this, let's go about with the preparation of the questions. At first, we will have to start off with the solving. So whenever we have to prepare the journal entries, there are some calculations that we will have to carry out. It's only then with the inputs of those calculations that we will be able to go about with the journal entry passing of the journal entries. So there are three primary calculations that we will have to do. We will have to do calculation of interest, we will have to do calculation of cash price, and then we will have to do calculation of depreciation. So let's start solving this question, and I will be changing the screen right now, and then we will be starting to solve the question one by one. So cash price, we know the cash price of the machine is 74,000. So cash price of this machine is 74,000. Now let us compute the hire purchase price. We know that hire purchase price we can compute using this formula: down payment plus number of parts into amount per part. So down payment is 20,000 plus number of parts. So you are making three part payments into 20,000 is the amount per part. Okay. So 20,000 is the amount per part, and when we solve this, we will get 20,000 plus 60,000. Okay, so which means hire purchase price is 80,000. So notice cash price is 74,500, and then hire purchase price is 80,000. The difference between these two prices, is what will make up the higher charges. So we have worked out, we have just computed the cash price and the higher purchase price. Now what we will have to do is we will have to go about with the calculation of the interest. So calculation of interest, we have to see how much is the interest that has to be paid to the vendor. Now we also saw in the previous or in the earlier sessions that we need to pay interest only on the amount which is outstanding. So whatever be the amount that is outstanding, it is only for that amount that we will have to pay the interest. So let's start working out the calculation of interest. Calculation of interest, you will start with cash price of the machine. Okay. So cash price of the machine, we know this is 74,500. So from 74,500, we will have to subtract the down payment. Okay. Down payment of machine. Okay. Down payment of machine is 20,000. Okay. So from this, when you subtract the down payment, you will get the balance amount. Okay. So you will get the balance amount. This is the amount that is outstanding. This is the amount that is outstanding at the beginning of 2016. So this works out to be 54,500. Okay, this works out to be 54,500. Now to this, you will have to add the interest for the first year, which is 2016. Okay, so interest for 2016. Now interest, how do we calculate? Interest, we know that interest is calculated at 5%. 5% of what? 5% of the outstanding amount, which is 54,500, and that works out to be 207 2,725. Excuse me. So we have computed the interest on the outstanding amount, and that works out to be 2,725. Okay, so we have calculated that. So now with the interest, we will get the amount outstanding at the end of 2016. So this plus 54,500, that is 57,225. Then less the part payment for 2016. So part payment of 2016 that we know is 20,000. Okay, part payment for 2016 we know is 20,000. So from 57,225, when we subtract 20,000, the amount that we are getting is actually amount outstanding at the beginning of 2017. Okay, so this works out to be 37,225. To this, we will have to add interest for 2017. So we know that for 2017, we will have to calculate the interest on the outstanding amount, and the outstanding amount is 37,225. Okay, so 37,225 and 5% of this, and that works out to be 1,861.25. So I'm going to round this off, and I'm going to be keeping this as 1,861. Okay, I'm rounding off the 2.25, and I'm keeping it as because when we have decimals, our further calculations may prove to be a little difficult. So to avoid those, I'm just going to keep it like this. So now when you add the interest to this, you get amount outstanding at the end of 2017. So amount outstanding at the end of 2017, this works out to be 39,086. Okay, 39,086. Now from this, we will have to subtract part payment for 2017. Okay, part payment for 2017, and for 2017 the part payment works out to be 20,000. Okay, so the part payment works out to be 20,000. So from this, when you subtract again, you will get amount outstanding at the beginning of 2018. So amount outstanding at the beginning of 2018 works out to be 19,086. So as the standard this thing goes, we will have to compute the interest for 2018. Now, there's going to be an exception to the computation of interest for 2018. I will not be taking the 5% of the outstanding amount. Reason being, we will have to consider the balancing figure. Now, I'll come back and I'll explain to you as to why we are doing it in this manner. You see, amount outstanding at the beginning of 2018 plus the interest for 2018, when you add up this, the amount outstanding at the end of 2018, this has to be equal to 20,000, because your final part payment, you're winding up, or you're concluding your transaction with a payment of 20,000. But when you end up calculating the actual 5% of 19,086, you would notice that the amount is slightly higher, and we cannot afford to carry forward an outstanding amount into the next year, because your transaction, transaction is coming to an end over here. So because of which we are forced to take the balancing figure, and the balancing figure is 914. So 914. So when you take 914, you would notice that this is how it works out to be. Okay, so when you take this and when you consider the part payment for 2018, that works out to be 20,000, and when you make the final part payment, outstanding amount works out to be 0, and with that you have concluded your transaction, or you have concluded your deal, and with this part payment the ownership of the product has been transferred. The next part of the calculation that we have to work out is we have to identify how much is the cash price of the product in every part payment that you're making. Let me explain that a little bit more in detail to you. In every part payment that you're processing as a part of your payment towards the vendor, certain portion of the money goes towards the cash price, certain portion of the money would go towards the interest. I'll repeat that. Every part payment that you make in hire purchase, a certain portion of the money would go towards the cash price, certain portion of the money will go towards the cash interest. So for example, in 2016, the part payment is 20,000, and in 20,000, 2,725 goes towards interest, and the balance amount goes towards the cash price. So this is how typically it works out. So if you look out in 2018, 914 goes towards the interest, the balance amount is going towards the cash price. So any part payment that you pick up, there's a certain portion of money which gets diverted towards interest and then the cash price. Now this breakup is very critical for us, because when we have to prepare the journal entries, this input is essentially needed for us. So let's go about working this out. Okay, so we have to identify the breakup. So cash price for 2000 and cash price of machine in 2016's part payment. Okay, so how do we get this? 20,000 minus 2,725. And let's just quickly work this out. So 20,000 minus 2,725, so 17,275. Okay, so in 2016, your part payment, 2,725 is going towards interest, 17,275 is going towards the cash price. Similarly, cash price of machine for 2017 part payment. So this will be 20,000 minus 1,861, and when you work this out, 20,000 minus 18,061, this works out to be 18,139. So similarly, cash price of machine for 2018 part payment. Work this out. You would get this to be 20,000 minus 914, and then there it goes. Okay, so 20,000 minus 914, and that is 19,086. Okay, so that has been completed. Okay, so we have got the cash price in each of these components. So we have worked out the next part of the calculation. The final calculation that we have to do is we have to identify the depreciation, or we have to calculate the depreciation. Now, there are two primary techniques which are used for depreciation computation. One is reducing balance method, or what is called as written down method, and the other is straight line method. Written down value method or reducing balance method, that I will be discussing a little later, or maybe in the next numerical with you. But for now, we will be talking about straight line method. So what is straight line method of depreciation calculation? Straight line method of depreciation calculation, what happens is you will be computing the same amount of depreciation every year. Same amount of depreciation would be computed every year, and that method is called as straight line method. And remember, depreciation is always calculated on the cash price. Okay, it is always calculated on the cash price. So let us work this out. Depreciation of machine. So 10% of what? 10% of cash price is 10% of cash price of machine so 10% of 74,500, so 74,500, which works out to be 7,450. So what will happen is every year you will be charging 7,450 as your depreciation amount. So 2016, 2017, 2018, it would be 7,450 that you will be charging as depreciation. Okay, so with that, we have completed the three major computations, calculations that we have to do. And now the next step is we can proceed to the journal entry. Okay, now I'll just give you a quick snapshot of the journal entries that we will have to pass before we go about with the actual computation, or which before we go about passing the actual entries, so that you'll be able to relate and then understand better. Primarily, at the beginning of the transaction, when you're entering into an agreement, you will be confirming your transaction with the payment of down payment. So when you make a down payment, you will have to pass an entry, and the entry goes like this: asset account debited to bank account. This can be either bank account or cash account. Now remember, asset account is real, so debit what comes in. Bank, if it's bank, it's personal, so credit the giver. Or if it's cash, since cash will be going on, credit what goes up. Okay, so this is only a one-time entry that you will have to pass, that is for down payment. Following this, the remaining entries we will be passing at the end of the financial year. Okay, so we will be passing at the end of the financial year. The first entry that we will be passing is to show in our books of accounts that there is a part payment which is due. So part payment which is due, you will be showing like this: asset account debited, interest account debited to hire vendor account. Here asset is real, interest is nominal. Nominal's golden rule is debit all expenses. So here you will have to pay an interest towards the vendor. So it's becoming an expense for you. That's the reason why you're debiting. Okay? And then hire vendor is personal, debit, credit the giver. So since the vendor is giving us the asset, that's the reason why we are crediting. Then installment is paid. So that is the second. You're releasing the cash to the vendor. So this is hire vendor account is personal, debit the receiver. Okay. Okay. So this is the second journal entry that you will have to pass at the end of the financial year. Then you will have to charge depreciation. So when you're charging depreciation, what happens is depreciation account debited to asset account. Depreciation account over here is nominal, debit all expenses. So certain portion of the asset is going out, so that you are crediting. Then all at the end of the financial year, when you prepare your profit and loss account, you will have to transfer all your expenses to your profit and loss account. So that's what we are doing over here. Now we are going to be passing the journal entries for this particular transaction. I've got the journal entry format over here, and the date on which we will be passing the very first entry, that will be Jan 1st of Jan 2016. So what is happening on 1st of Jan 2016? You're making the down payment. Okay? You're making the down payment. So since you're making the down payment, what will happen over here is machine account debited, amount is 20,000. Okay. Why? Because machine is coming into your business to cash account. Now, either you could use cash account or you could use bank account. Both are correct. So here, cash account is being credited because cash is going out. Okay. Cash is going out. So, being payment of the payment of down payment. So this is completed. Next. So we will be having only one entry at the beginning of the financial year, or at the beginning of the time that the time that you are confirming it. The remaining entries you will be passing at the end of the year. So here in this case, it will be 31st December 2016. So the very first entry would be for the part payment is becoming due. So part payment, machine account debited. Okay. Now here, remember when we had worked out the calculation, we had calculated this breakup. So this is where this breakup becomes crucial for us. Now what we have to remember at the back of our mind is the entire so out of 20,000 part payment that you're making, only 17,275 is towards the cash price of the machine. So we will have to account only for that amount, okay, which is 17,275. 17,275. Then interest account debited 2,725, and this part payment is due to the vendor, and the vendor in this case is Bharat Motors, and the amount due is 20,000. Being first part payment is due. Now, the next entry that we would be passing would be for releasing the payment to the vendor. So, Bharat Motors debited 20,000 to cash account, and this is 20,000 being payment of first part. So that has been done. Next, what we have to do is 31st December 2016, you will have to charge the depreciation. So depreciation account, please remember this is nominal. And since it is nominal, debit all expenses. And we know that the depreciation amount is 7,450, and this gets charged against the machine account, 7,450 being the depreciation amount for first year. So that has been completed. And the final entry that we will have to pass for 2016 is for profit and loss account. Profit and loss account debited we have to transfer all the expenses. Now, what are the expenses that we have? The expenses that we have are 2,725, and then depreciation to depreciation account 7,450. So 2,725 and 7,450. So together, when we add up, this works out to be 10,175. So the transfer of expenses to profit and loss account. Profit and loss. So with that, we have completed all the journal entries for the very first year, which is 2016. So first was for the payment of down payment. Second was first part payment is becoming due. Second was payment of the first part payment. Next was depreciation. And finally, transferring all the expenses to profit and loss. Now, for the subsequent journal entries, please remember we will have to the next set of entries we will be having to pass on 31st December 2017. Now, again, here the very first entry would be for that the part payment is due and the part payment machine account debited. Machine account debited, and here the part payment amount in this part payment amount, the proportion of the machine is 18,139. Then interest account debited, here it is 1,861. To vendor is Bharat Motors account, amount is 20,000, being second part payment is due. Second part payment is due. So we have completed this. Then 31st December 2017, Bharat Motors account, debited 20,000 to cash account, amount is 20,000, being payment of second part, so that has been completed. Then 31st December 2017, we will have to account for depreciation. So depreciation is depreciation account debited. Remember, we are following straight line method. So in straight line method, what happens is the amount remains the same every year. So here it is 7,450 to machine account 7,450 being depreciation for second year. Okay, now let's move on. Finally, 31st December 2017, you're transferring all the amounts into profit and loss account, and the amounts that we have transferred to profit and loss account. What are the expenses we have to transfer? We have to transfer interest. So interest amount is 1,861. Sorry, wrong column. 1,861, and depreciation amount is 7,450. So 7,450 plus 1,861, that is 9,311. So 9,311 being transfer of expenses to profit and loss account. So that has been completed. Okay, so we have completed for 2017. Now we are moving to the next set of years, so which is 2018. So 2018, here it would be the first entry would be for part payment is due, machine account underscore debited. The amount would be 19,086. Interest account debited. This will be 914 to the vendor Bharat Motors, and it is 20,000 being third part payment is due. Then 31st December 2018, Bharat Motors account debited 20,000 to cash account 20,000 being payment of third part. Then 31st December 2018, have to charge for depreciation. So depreciation account debited. So 7,450 to machine account 7,450 being depreciation for third year. 31st December 2018, profit and loss account to depreciation account 7,450 to interest account 914. So this is 8,364 being transfer of expenses to profit and loss account. So with that, we have completed the journal entries for 3 years. So 3 years journal entries we have completed successfully.